years, and I've never seen this kind of investment.
$6.5 billion strictly dedicated to EVs.
Wedbush says spending on commercial EVs should top $1.2 trillion between now and 2030.
We're building the future of the electric vehicle.
Are you wondering why there are so many disturbing headlines about EVs and the EV market in recent times? You are not alone in this. An enormous EV market crash is here, and it came sooner than anyone expected due to several reasons we will address later in this video. So many people are swapping their EVs for gas cars, and many EVs are lining up hopelessly in dealer lots for the same reasons we are about to show you. Without wasting any time, let's dive into the shocking crash happening right now in the EV market, and why EV sales are rapidly slowing down. What are the hopes of EVs for the future? The government is saying, look, we have to go fully electric on our vehicles.
Fleet of vehicles, which we're going to replace with clean electric vehicles made right here in America.
But car makers are beginning to see the EV market hit a major block. Wedbush predicted that spending on commercial EVs should top $1.2 trillion by 2030, but EV cars sold twice as fast in January 2022 compared to the rate of sales in August 2023, while gas vehicles are still selling swiftly, as always. That's not all. The rate of sales even dropped further in the last quarter of 2023 and seems to have gone worse in early 2024. Interestingly, about 50% of buyers believe that EV is the future of the automotive industry, and it has come to stay, but over 60% of dealers have a counter-opinion due to declining sales. Although automotive companies have committed about $616 billion in total investment to EVs from 2023 to 2027, hoping to add 1 million more EVs to the road, after consumers worldwide spent about $400 billion on electric vehicles in 2022, everything doesn't seem to be going as planned with the unexpected market crash. Individuals who have purchased EVs in the past now have serious complaints about several issues. One of the major issues is the huge cost of battery repair that caps above $30,000. Other notable complaints are insurance costs that exceed $500 monthly, concerns over recharge during long-distance travels, the general cost of maintenance, and a few reported cases of unwarranted fires and explosions.
Dangers you need to know about. 2 electric vehicles caught on fire after the storm.
Yeah, now one local fire department is warning owners to park 50 feet away from any structure.
So, what are the impacts of these complaints on the EV market? Top EV makers, including Ford, Tesla, GM, and literally everyone, are failing to sell their EVs in good numbers. Most significantly, an average used EV has dipped in value by an enormous figure of 33.7% between October 2023 and January 2024. As a result, every car maker is feeling the heat in the EV market crash, with leaders in the automotive industry like Tesla, Ford, Toyota, GM, Benz, and others taking drastic measures to keep the situation in check. Tesla, for instance, has slashed prices significantly, and Ford has temporarily halted the production of EVs due to declining sales. But results so far have not proven these actions to be a great step in the right direction, because there are projections that prices of EVs will fall up to 50% in the coming months. The impact of this market crash is evident in the way car makers have handled sales with jaw-dropping price slashes. Ford, for instance, is selling EVs at a loss of $11,000 each. You heard that right. A whopping $11,000 loss on each EV. In fact, Ford's CEO Jim Farley openly came out to say there are no more EVs until they figure out how to sell without recurring losses. Can you imagine that? But they are not alone. New Toyota CEO, Koji, who has been pushing the EV agenda with his BZ series, is now beginning to see the light and the sad trend in the EV market. Now he is advocating for a more inclusive way of reducing emissions while questioning the need for an outright ban on gas cars. Isn't that interesting? However, Jeff Iosa, whose shop is one of the 383 Benz dealership shops around the United States and pulls in an annual revenue of over $40 million, suggested that there is an oversupply of EVs, which is greater than the demand. He also pointed out the driving distance the vehicle can produce and the lack of public charging infrastructure as one of the major reasons behind the negative customer attitude towards the purchase of EVs. And guess what? He admitted that perhaps the push for an all-EV automotive industry is moving too fast. Now, who is the driver of the EV price market? While studying the price clampdown in the EV segment, you should know that the major price decline and slash are driven almost completely by Tesla. Are you wondering why it is so? Here is the drill. Tesla became aggressive with their price by significant margins, thereby increasing the demand for Tesla EVs to about 67% of the total sales. For specificity, Tesla's transaction price of their Model 3 dropped by 21%. The transaction price of the Model S also fell by 17% from $104,900 to $74,990 between the start of 2023 and the 15th of September 2023. Similar aggressiveness was also exerted on Tesla's Models X and Y, whose prices fell by 13% and 16% respectively within the same period. The aggressiveness of Tesla's pricing coupled with their supercharger network make it difficult for buyers searching for EVs to overlook their models. This action created a competitive advantage compared to other EV makers. Most other EV makers are forced to adapt and slash prices to stay competitive. Who had initially hiked the starting transaction price of its F-150 Lightning by 50% from $40,000 to $60,000 in March 2023 was forced to make a slash to $49,000. Nevertheless, the price is still about $9,000 more than the price originally fixed. Remember that there was a lot of enthusiasm around the introduction of EVs before the pandemic, leading to a pandemic-era high when 86% of buyers in the United States were considering EVs. Sadly, the number dropped significantly to 67% in 2023. Ford, for instance, introduced the F-150 Lightning, which is the fully electric version of the most popular car in America, in 2021, opening reservations for purchase. The reservation slot closed by the end of the year because Ford said they had enough reservations for about 3 years' worth of production. Sounds promising, right? But things took a drastic turnaround by the fourth quarter of 2023, with Ford announcing a wrap on the production of its fully electric F-150 Lightning due to the rapidly declining sales. It is really sad to see buyers literally moving from following car trucks to dealer shops, hoping to purchase as the car drops, and setting bidding wars to walking away from EV purchase within a year. Do you know what's more amazing about the downturn trend in the EV market? It is not only affecting legacy or popular automotive brands, luxury brands like the Lucid brand are also feeling the heat of the market crash. In one of the most recent events, Lucid delivered 600 fewer EVs of its popular high-performance 500-mile range luxury air sedan than Wall Street had expected in 2023. Beyond the challenges associated with the use of EVs, several other economic and political challenges have facilitated the significant market crash. Most notably, inflation has affected purchasing power and interest rates are up, so borrowing is now a lot more expensive. OEMs are also under huge pressure to make more EVs to help meet the government's mandate on elimination of emissions and going all electric. These factors have significantly disrupted the supply chain, leaving no impact solution despite the significant change in buyers' attitude. The pricing challenge is another major factor that is responsible for the rapid crash in the EV market. EVs have higher transaction prices compared to their gasoline counterparts in similar categories. According to various market surveys, as of September 2023, the average transaction price of a vehicle in the United States is somewhere between $48,000 and $50,000, while the average transaction price of an EV climbs between $53,000 to $60,000. To be more specific, ISA sells an EQB for $50,000, which is lower than EQE, which can have a transaction price of up to $90,000, and other mainstream EVs that run higher. Makers largely blame the higher price on the manufacturing cost of making EVs compared to other simpler cars. Akio Toyoda, the chairperson of Toyota, pointed out that rare earth metals needed for production are in shortage, and prices of EVs might even go higher due to the scarcity. Another major contributor to the downtrend and market crash is durability and maintenance. Unlike ICE vehicles where every maker puts out cars that last up to 20 years and more, most EVs give an average of 10 years warranty on the battery to offer 80% efficiency. Charging is another major concern to many buyers, both existing and prospective. Don't get it wrong, it's not like nobody wants EVs. The EV segment accounted for 8% of vehicle sales in September 2023, and it is in the top 6 segments of the industry. Nevertheless, there are still regional variations in the demand for EVs. Factors like economic metrics, gas prices, home energy rates, and preferences influence the demand for EVs in various regions. For instance, in regions like California, where gas prices shift towards $6, more buyers tend to adopt EVs compared to regions with relatively cheaper gas rates like Texas. With all being said and done, the future of EVs appears to be unclear, but one thing seems sure: EVs are here to stay. Maybe the EVs staying too long on the lots don't match what potential EV suitors want, or the pricing isn't friendly enough. Regardless, we hope to see the government explore a different approach for the elimination of emissions and combustion vehicles rather than pressurizing the EV makers. Automakers can also explore ways to keep prices of EVs in a competitive range with ICEs in similar categories while also working on other customer concerns. Maybe slowing down a little on the full electric dream and exploring the hybrid space a lot more will make the transition easier and create a sustainable market for the emerging EV technology. The good news for the future is that a lot of buyers are still open to accepting EV technology because despite the drop in EV purchases between 2021 and 2023, the number is still higher than what we had in 2019. Stay connected for more updates about the automotive industry in our coming videos. Thanks for watching. Do you think the EV market can experience a drastic turnaround in the coming months? Leave your suggestions in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos. And if you're still thinking that buying an EV is the best choice, check out our next video where we expose the shocking truth about the staggering unreliability of EV cars.